Welcome to the virtual public input meeting for the improvements along Tyler Parkway from West Century Avenue to Ashcooley Drive. My name is Derek Anderson, and on behalf of Apex Engineering Group in the City of Bismarck, we would like to thank you for your time to view the presentation that we have prepared for this upcoming project. Throughout the presentation, we will talk about the project overview and background of the corridor, the current and future traffic forecasting, the public survey that was conducted, and the feedback that we have received on the project. Finally, we will talk about the proposed alternatives and options for the project and discuss opportunities for public comment. First, we are going to talk about the project overview and background information of the corridor. Taking a look at the project map shown on the screen, this project is broken into two segments. First, the Tyler Parkway extension portion that will extend from Valley Drive to Cogburn Road across Tyler Coulee. The second portion of the project will look at ways to incorporate safety into the corridor between Century Avenue and Ashcooley Drive. We will talk more about the details of these segments later on in the presentation. Getting into the purpose and need of this project, the main purpose of the project is to improve the street and trail connectivity in Northwest Bismarck, where consistent growth has been occurring. This project has been mentioned in numerous studies dating back to the 1996 Long Range Transportation Plan to as recent as the current 2024 Metropolitan Transportation Plan. Reduction in emergency response time in Northwest Bismarck will also be a key benefit of this project. As mentioned earlier, the emergency response time would be reduced with this project. The Bismarck Police Department has stated that this improvement would improve response time to Northwest Bismarck and increase the opportunity for patrolling due to the more direct route in and out of the neighborhoods. The Bismarck Fire Department and City of Bismarck GIS Department has prepared the map shown on the screen. As you can see, the response time to Elk Ridge Elementary would be reduced from 5 to 6 minutes to less than 3 minutes with the construction of this project. Additionally, this project would potentially delay the need to build a new fire station in Northwest Bismarck. The current cost of a new station would be around $7.5 million, with an additional $1 to $1.2 million a year in annual expenses. Next, we're going to talk about the existing traffic and projected traffic forecast along the corridor. Looking at the existing traffic along Tyler Parkway, the daily traffic volumes range from a little over 4,600 vehicles per day to 5,600 vehicles per day the closer you get to Century Avenue. Traffic north of Tyler Coulee near Elk Ridge Elementary, existing traffic is just over 3,000 vehicles per day. Also note the current traffic volumes along Valley Drive, which range between 2,100 and 3,100 vehicles per day. The project team worked on estimating traffic volumes for the opening day traffic when the extension of Tyler Parkway would be built, with the understanding that traffic would be redistributed onto Tyler Parkway after the extension is constructed. The team used streetlight data, which is a tool that tracks cell phone data and identified trips originating north and west of the project corridor, and determined how many of those trips eventually ended up south of the Century Avenue and Tyler Parkway intersection. The conclusion was that those trips would likely be redistributed back onto the Tyler Parkway corridor and were added onto the existing traffic volumes as the method to estimate the opening day traffic volumes.
The graphic on this slide illustrates how the corresponding traffic volumes are revised based on that information. The numbers in blue represent the estimated opening day traffic with the Tyler Parkway extension, and the numbers in red represent the opening day traffic numbers without the extension. Both assume growth continues up until the project is constructed. Traffic along Tyler Parkway increases approximately 6% from 5,240 to 6,225 vehicles per day south of Valley Drive and increased to over 4,000 vehicles per day near Elk Ridge Elementary School. Also note that traffic along Valley Drive would see a decrease in volumes due to the redistribution of traffic onto Tyler Parkway.
Looking out into the future, this slide shows future traffic volumes estimated in 2050, which are taken from the recently completed Bismarck-Mandan MPO Metropolitan Transportation Plan. These volumes assume continued growth in Northwest Bismarck following the growth plans. This slide shows examples of other roadways across Bismarck that have similar traffic volumes and similar characteristics like Tyler Parkway, including single-family homes with direct driveway access onto the street. Traffic speeds have been noted as a concern by the residents living along this corridor. A speed study was completed along the project at 2 locations south of Valley Drive and north of Cogburn Road. 90% of the traffic is traveling over the posted speed limit, with the 85th percentile near 34 miles an hour south of Valley Drive and 42 miles an hour north of Cogburn Road. Next, we're going to review the public survey and some of the feedback that we have gathered for the project.
This project is unique to Bismarck, and as a result, additional input opportunities have been incorporated into project development. The first opportunity for public input was back in late November and early December when a project story map was released and a public survey was conducted. In late January, a second round of input was conducted when a small homeowner meeting was held to hear homeowner concerns and work through proposed options along the corridor. Which leads us to the current public input meeting. From here, one additional opportunity for input will be at the City Commission meeting when recommendations will be made and brought forward for final approval.
First, let's take a look at the public survey data that was received back in December. Postcard mailers were sent to nearly 700 households in the Tyler Parkway, Tyler Cooley area. In addition, social media and website blasts encouraged residents to take the survey. From this, we received over 300 respondents, many of which were from households near the project. Some of the key takeaways from the survey and stakeholder meetings was that speeding is a concern along the corridor. One of the other key takeaways was the usage of the trail system within Tyler Cooley. Of the 312 respondents, 186 people had additional written comments to the survey. Many of these were stating their opinions of whether or not the project should be built. When it came to specific concerns, there were 2 main topics: traffic operations, including speeding, safety, and traffic concerns, and concerns about Tyler Cooley, including trail connectivity, wildlife, and potential viewshed impacts. We will cover these items later in the presentation. Just want to look at a couple of questions that were asked in the public survey. Regarding speeding, more than 50% of the respondents felt that the vehicle speeds were too fast along the corridor. The other key takeaway was that 63% of respondents used Tyler Cooley, either walking, hiking, biking, or a combination of these on a regular basis. Next, we're going to move into project alternatives and options that are being proposed with this project. With the build alternative, alternative B, the Tyler Parkway would be extended from Valley Drive to Cogburn Road with an earthen embankment across Tyler Cooley. With this alternative, a 36-foot urban section would be constructed, complete with curb and gutter and an asphalt roadway. Additionally, lighting would be installed from Valley Drive to Ash Cooley Drive, increasing the safety of pedestrians and awareness of drivers along the corridor. Additionally, an underpass or an at-grade pedestrian crossing would be included as a project option to maintain trail connectivity within Tyler Cooley. Looking at the extension portion of the project between Valley Drive and Cogburn Road, you can see that the project would maintain trail connectivity in Tyler Cooley. We have shown on the screen the proposed location of the pedestrian underpass option should it be decided that it will be included as part of the project. You can also see a large diameter storm drain pipe that will be designed to stream crossing standards drawn in the bottom of Tyler Cooley. The roadway profile through Tyler Cooley would be around 8%, which would be similar to East Divide Avenue between 33rd and 35th Street, and similar to 43rd Avenue between 15th and 19th Street. Looking at the shared use path system, this project would provide the final connection between the newly constructed trail near Elk Ridge Elementary and the existing trail system along Valley Drive. With this project, we will also grade a trail down to the bottom of Tyler Coulee on the west side of the roadway. This graded trail would work with the Bismarck Parks and Recs master plan, which would ultimately provide a trail from Tyler Parkway down to Claremont Road with a future project. East of the roadway, there are no future plans to construct a path to Ash Coulee Drive. Taking a look at the typical section on the Tyler Parkway extension, the roadway would be a 36-foot two-lane roadway with curb and gutter and lighting. On the west side of the roadway, a 10-foot shared use path would be constructed with a wide graded boulevard. Through Tyler Coulee, the same roadway section would be constructed, but the boulevards would be narrowed to reduce the impact in Tyler Coulee. The design of the embankment through Tyler Coulee has posed some challenges. Throughout the bottom of the coulee, poor underlying soils exist. As a result, this foundational soil will need to be treated to support the fill that will be placed within the coulee. Alternative construction methods were studied as part of this project, but ultimately were not pursued any further. These methods would have sped up the opening of the roadway, but were cost prohibitive as they would have added millions of dollars to the project cost. Ultimately, the most cost-effective solution is being brought forward as there is readily available dirt on site that can be used as the embankment. Next, we have a rendering of the proposed roadway and embankment. This first view is an aerial view looking toward the east. Here's a view of what the roadway extension would look like, complete with a pedestrian underpass option, along with a mini roundabout option at the intersection of Valley Drive. We will talk more about that option later in the presentation. Here's a different view of the proposed project, an aerial view above Valley Drive looking north across Tyler Coulee. As you can see, the connectivity of the existing trail system would be maintained with the proposed build alternative. Next, we want to discuss alternatives that were considered but ultimately not brought forward. As a result of some of the comments that were received regarding wildlife within Tyler Coulee, one option that was considered was a wildlife crossing. This option was ruled out for a few reasons. Typically, these are installed along high-speed rural roadways where vehicle-animal collisions pose a threat to vehicular passenger safety. In order for these crossings to function properly, the coulee would have needed to be fenced in to force the animals to use the crossing. This fencing is typically an 8-foot-high woven wire fence, which would not have been desirable in a residential setting. Also, maintaining trail connectivity in Tyler Coulee with a fence would be a challenge. Another alternative that was considered but not carried forward was a bridge across Tyler Coulee. This option was not carried forward due to cost and maintenance concerns. The bridge alternative would have added an additional $6 million to the project cost. In addition to that, long-term costs associated with maintenance and scheduled inspections would need to occur. Ultimately, the bridge has a design life and would need to be replaced down the road in addition to the upfront costs. Also, with bridges, guardrail and bridge rail vehicle impacts would lead to additional maintenance, along with snow removal challenges in the wintertime. Next, we're going to talk about the traffic calming options that could be implemented as part of this project between Century Avenue and Valley Drive. First, let's explain what traffic calming is and how it works. Traffic calming are physical features that are installed to reduce traffic speeds or volumes. Examples of these are pictured below. Between West Century Avenue and Country West, two options have been developed. The first being a no-build option. With this option, option 1A, the roadway configuration would not change and would stay as a two-lane roadway. With the build option, option 1B, the existing two-lane roadway would be converted to a three-lane section, complete with a center dual left turn lane. A median island would be installed just north of Montego Drive with this option. The width of the driving lanes would be reduced to 11 feet to help control the speeds of the vehicles along the corridor. Parking would be maintained on both sides of the roadway with this option, with the exception near the median island, which would be removed. Between Country West and Valley Drive, 3 options have been developed. The first being a no-build option, along with 2 build options that have been developed. With this option, option 2A, the roadway configuration would stay the same as it is today. With option 2A and 2B, intersection improvements could be implemented as part of the project. They are shown as options 3 and 4 on the screen. We will talk more about those 2 options shortly. With build option 2B, we would convert the existing 2-lane roadway to a 3-lane roadway, complete with a center dual left turn lane. A median island would be installed just north of Canyon Drive with this option. The width of the driving lanes would be reduced to 11 feet to help control the speeds of the vehicles along the corridor. Parking would be maintained on both sides of the roadways with the exception of the area near the median island. With build option 2C, a continuous raised median would be installed between Country West and Valley Drive. With this option, a mini or a compact roundabout would be installed at both Country West and Valley Drive intersections. With this option, parking would be eliminated on this stretch of the roadway. At the Country West intersection, 3 options have been developed. The first being a no-build option where the intersection would stay in its current state. The second option would be to install a mini or compact roundabout. This option would provide the greatest reduction in vehicular speed near the intersection. The third option would be to install a raised median island at this intersection. This option, along with the mini roundabout, would give pedestrians a refuge in the middle of the roadway, increasing the safety of pedestrians. At the Valley Drive intersection, the same 3 options have also been developed. The first being a no-build option where the intersection would stay in its current state. The second option would be to install a mini or compact roundabout. The third option would be to install a raised median island at this intersection. Reviewing the cost for the build alternatives, the Tyler Parkway extension would cost around $10 million. If the pedestrian underpass was incorporated into the project, it would cost an additional $175,000. All of the project costs, both with the extension and the traffic calming options, would be funded by the half-cent sales tax. No special assessments would be used with this project.
The various traffic calming build option costs are listed on the screen. All of these options can be implemented independently of each other. For option 1B, the build option to construct the 3-lane roadway section and center median would cost around $85,000. For option 2B, the 3-lane conversion and median island would cost around $75,000, and option 2C would cost $1.1 million, as this option would also include building mini roundabouts at 2 intersections. For options 3 and 4, the raised medians would cost between $75,000 and $100,000 per location, and the mini roundabouts would cost around $250,000 per location.
Looking at the project schedule, we are currently in the preliminary design and public input phase of the project. As mentioned earlier, commission decisions and concept approvals will occur in April or May of 2025. From here, we will finalize design and go out to bid this fall with construction starting in 2026. The embankment fill will be placed the first year of construction, and the roadway extension will be completed in 2027 to allow the embankment to settle within Tyler Coulee. This concludes the presentation for the Tyler Parkway improvements. Please provide written comments to me by mail or email. If emailed, please use public input meeting Tyler Parkway in the email subject heading. You can also take the short survey on the Bismarck Streets website. Once again, thank you for watching today, and we look forward to hearing from you.